We've seen such a huge inflection of attention, and her play, just the way she plays the game, I think that's going to be sustainable. Our backcourt, I think, is probably going to be one of the best in the league between her and Kelsey. It's a dynamic duo right there. We've seen such a huge inflection of attention, and her play, just the way she plays the game, I think that's going to be sustainable.
Picture this. The Indiana Fever just broke their 8-year playoff drought. Now they're sitting on $650,000 in cap space. That's enough to build a championship team around Caitlin Clark. But there's a twist. Some key players are heading overseas. Is this the start of something big or a major setback? Let's talk about that playoff breakthrough. The Fever went from bottom dwellers to contenders, and the energy in Indiana is off the charts. You know what's even crazier? Rookie sensation Caitlin Clark is at the center of it all. She's not just playing well, she's reshaping the entire team's future. Now, imagine this, $650,000 in cap space. That's championship building money, folks. The Fever could create a dynasty around Clark. But hold on, because things are about to get wild. Just when everything seemed perfect, some key players are packing their bags. Is this the start of something amazing or a total disaster? You won't believe what's coming next. Remember that $650,000 in cap space? Well, it might not matter if the Fever's top talent is busy racking up frequent flyer miles. Kelsey Mitchell and Nalissa Smith are trading Indiana corn for Chinese cuisine. But here's the real kicker. There's a brand new league right here in the US, and not a single Fever player is touching it.
Maybe it is a good thing that Caitlin Clark isn't playing in Unrivaled this season.
Our backcourt, I think, is probably going to be one of the best in the league between her and Kelsey. It's a dynamic duo right there.
She had her opening press conference and she was asked a lot of questions, and a lot of the media was wondering, where do we go from here? What does the future of the Indiana Fever look like?
What gives? Let's break this down. Kelsey Mitchell and Nalissa Smith, two of the Fever's best players, are heading to China. And Temi Fagbeni, she's off to Turkey. It's like the Fever's locker room just turned into an international airport. But why? Well, it's all about that green. And I'm not talking about the court. These players are chasing bigger paychecks and a chance to level up their game. It's like going to basketball boot camp, but with better food. They could come back as absolute beasts on the court, with new moves that'll make opponents' heads spin. But here's the catch. What if they get injured? Or worse, what if they fall in love with their new teams and decide to stay? Now, you'd think there'd be a way to keep these stars close to home, right? Well, there is. It's called the Unrivaled League. This new 3-on-3 league is supposed to be the answer to keeping WNBA stars in the US during the offseason. It's got 6 teams and promises big bucks. But guess what? Not a single Fever player is in it. It's like throwing a party and none of your best friends show up. So, what's the deal? Are the Fever missing out on a golden opportunity? Or are their players onto something bigger? Maybe they're playing 4D chess while everyone else is stuck on checkers. Think about it. While they're globetrotting, the Fever's got that $650,000 burning a hole in their pocket. They could use this chance to completely reshape their roster. Imagine this. Mitchell and Smith come back from China with skills that make them twice as valuable. Meanwhile, the Fever use that cap space to snag some free agents who complement their new international superstars perfectly.
Just hired a brand new president. Her name is Kelly Kroskoff.
We've seen such a huge inflection of attention, and her play, just the way she plays the game, I think that's going to be sustainable.
Suddenly, that playoff breakthrough we talked about earlier, it could look like child's play compared to what's coming. Just when you thought the Fever's offseason couldn't get wilder, Caitlin Clark throws a curveball. Instead of draining threes, she's sinking putts. Is Clark's golf gambit a stroke of genius or a major bogey for her basketball future? You heard that right. While her teammates are jet-setting around the globe, Caitlin Clark is trading her high tops for golf spikes. The rookie sensation who set the WNBA on fire is now setting her sights on the fairway. But don't worry, she's not quitting basketball. She's just taking a break? Ryan Rawako from ESPN dropped this bombshell. Clark almost definitely won't play basketball this offseason. Instead, she's teeing up for an LPGA Pro-Am event. That's right, Our basketball phenom is swinging clubs with the pros. Talk about a plot twist. Now I know what you're thinking. Is she losing her mind? Will this hurt her game? Is the pressure of being the next big thing in the WNBA too much? Take a breath, Fever fans. There might be more to this story than meets the eye. Let's break it down. First off, taking a break from basketball could be exactly what Clark needs. Think about it. No risk of injury, no burnout, and a chance to clear her head. It's like a mental reset button. Plus, golf requires precision, focus, and mental toughness. Sound familiar? Those are the same skills that make Clark a beast on the court. But here's where it gets really interesting. Kelly Cross, the Fever's new president, isn't freaking out. In fact, she's talking about sustaining the momentum from Clark's rookie season. It's like they're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Maybe this unconventional move is part of a bigger plan. Imagine this. Clark comes back from her golf adventure with laser-like focus, improved mental game, and a fresh perspective. Suddenly, those already incredible no-look passes are even more deadly. Her shooting accuracy? Off the charts. And her ability to stay cool under pressure? Unmatched. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There are still questions. How will this affect team chemistry? Will Clark be rusty when she returns? And what about the fans who are dying to see her play year-round? Here's the thing. Sometimes the biggest risks lead to the biggest rewards. Clark isn't just any player. She's a game changer, on and off the court. If this golf gambit pays off, we could be looking at a whole new level of Caitlin Clark magic next season.
There's clearly there's something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with.
A couple things that I love that she said. One, she praised her star players. She did not hold back. She admitted to the success that is Caitlin Clark.
Remember that $650,000 in cap space? It's time to go shopping, and the Fever's wish list is wild. While Clark's working on her swing, the Fever front office is teeing up some major moves. They're not just looking to fill roster spots, they're aiming to build a dynasty. First up on their to-do list? Keeping Kelsey Mitchell. This isn't just about holding on to a star player, it's about maintaining the magic. Mitchell and Clark together? That's a duo that gives defenders nightmares. Their combined playmaking skills created scoring opportunities that left fans and opponents in awe. Imagine what they could do with another season to sync up. But the Fever's not stopping there. They're looking to beef up their defense and find players who mesh with Clark's style. It's like putting together a puzzle where every piece has to fit just right. They need shooters who can nail those long-range passes and defenders who can cover while Clark works her magic. It's a tall order, but with that cap space, anything's possible. Now here's where things get really exciting. Picture Natasha Howard in a Fever jersey. That's the kind of move that could turn this team into a powerhouse overnight. Howard's not just a versatile defender, she's an offensive threat too. If the Fever can snag her from the Dallas Wings, we're talking about a potential game changer. But it's not just about big names. The Fever's strategy is all about finding the right fit. They're looking for 3-and-D talent and physical wings to enhance their defensive identity. And don't forget about transition players. With Clark's ability to penetrate defenses, the Fever needs teammates who can finish those fast breaks and keep the scoreboard ticking. Here's the real kicker. If the Fever nails these moves, we could be looking at a whole new level of basketball in Indiana. We're talking potential dynasty material here, folks. Imagine a team where Clark's no-look passes find shooters in perfect position, where the defense is as solid as the offense is explosive, and where every player knows their role in creating a winning machine. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Building a championship team is like cooking a gourmet meal. You need the right ingredients, the perfect timing, and a bit of luck. The Fever's front office has the recipe, but can they pull it off? All right, let's recap this wild ride. The Fever broke their playoff drought, then boom, key players jet off overseas. Caitlin Clark swapping hoops for golf, and there's $650,000 burning a hole in the team's pocket. It's like a basketball soap opera, but with more three-pointers. So, is this the start of a Fever dynasty, or just a fever dream? Here's the deal. They've got the talent, the cash, and a plan that's so crazy it might just work. Imagine Clark coming back with laser focus, Mitchell and Smith leveling up overseas, and some new faces fitting in like missing puzzle pieces. But here's the kicker. The Fever aren't just playing for next season. They're aiming for the history books. This could be the start of something huge in the WNBA. Get ready, because Indiana's about to bring the heat.